definitely, it has to be Malcolm's win. And sitting up there watching that race, I think about, well, number one, Malcolm as a person is so much fun to be around. And I was teasing Stu a little bit in the broadcast. I said, he's my favorite Stewart, Malcolm is. But no, it is like, I've gotten a lot of texts, I'm sure as you have, and then like all this stuff on social media, and of just how pumped they are for Mookie and his win. And I think when you see the reaction from whether it's his competitors, whether it's just regular fans, whether it's TV production guys, whether it's operation guys at Feld, other sponsors, other manufacturers, people chiming in, I think that's just a testament to who Malcolm is. I think he's a great kid. He's fun to be around. Every time you see him, majority of the time he's in a great mood, unless he's injured or something silly like that. But dude, he's just a great person to be around, a fun person to be around. And it's no mistake, his brother casts a really big shadow. And I was pumped for him. And I was happy to call that race alongside James. I mean, that's going to be a historical moment for him, and I was blessed to be up there. But dude, he earned it the hard way. I think if you want to win your first race, that's the damn sure way to do it. Come from behind, pass all the best guys. He was gonna in my opinion, he was gonna pass Chase. Right. And dude, and we talked about in the broadcast, and I can't wait to hear what you had to say about this. But dude, not only was he good in the whoops, the guy was good on the whole racetrack. I mean, he just nailed it. So Mal, congratulations, dude. It's a long time coming. Had you not had that ACL tear, I think you would have had several wins already under your belt. But you've always had the technique and the talent. I mean, you're a 250 divisional champ. So this is no surprise, but way to stick with it. And dude, it was fun to see you win and your reaction. RV, you watched it. Take it away, brother. What did you?
Malcolm's been at this for a long time. Obviously, he has an East Coast, I believe it's an East Coast 250 championship, regional championship already. We know that he's got the speed. He's in this 450 class. He has shown time after time again that he's got the speed and the talent. Just mistakes or crashes or something has always kind of thrown a wrench in the program. And Tampa on Saturday night, watching that track, watching the way it was developing, it looked like a very technical track. The sand was true beach sand. It didn't hold any form whatsoever, at least early on in the main events and qualifiers and throughout the day. But just watching him, right, he looked like he didn't look like he was trying too hard or over trying on that track, because it was taking guys down left and right. In some areas that was expected for them to maybe make mistakes or just catch them off guard in places that you wouldn't expect it. So he was on, it looked like he was just riding his own race. He was clicking off laps better than anybody else. He was able to close the gap on Chase like relatively very quickly. As we all know, that double, triple before the whoop section that Mook was doing was just eating guys alive coming through the whoops. Yeah, he's a bigger dude. He's got the leverage on the motorcycle, like you said, Ricky, on the broadcast. But nonetheless, didn't matter. It doesn't really matter what set of whoops. Like James and Malcolm, they've always been, be very, very, very good in the whoop sections. And that
entry too, like, right? Entry speed.
Yeah, entry, middle of this whoop section, on the exit of the whoop section, that whole whoop section there was tough. It was one of our longer sets we've had this year. If not, I think it is the longest set we've had this year so far. But he rode phenomenal. And we figured that, people have been talking about this time for a long time. Like, it's, Mookie can win. But other than those mistakes, and he was able to mitigate all of those mistakes on Saturday night and stand on top of the box, which I think only one other set of brothers, right? Hunter Jet at this point, I think, especially for championships. So a very special moment for the Stewart family. I saw Big James down there, obviously close to home. So they had lots of family members there. So if you're going to do it, there we got Big James there, the rest of the Husky team. Like, very, very special moment for the family, There's Rango, but also for Malcolm to finally check that box on getting a 450 win.
Yeah, I mean, like I talked about it at the beginning of our pod. I mean, you know just how liked he is, not only by the fans and just again how polarizing James was, but like it just goes to show you the person that he is and how much respect and the camaraderie between all of his peers that there is, and how happy they were. I mean, you just talked about it. Was it Rango from Cowie? And I know that they have a working relation, have had a working relationship. But dude, I'm pumped. I'm pumped for him. Yeah, he rode perfect. And going back, like he was also, let's see here, that section. There's a 90 degree turn. He was going outside, over the table, then on the table, and then
Yes.
off. Whereas Sexton was going inside, single, hit the tabletop, jump over the single, and then tabletop single again.
Yep.
And like, dude, like he was making up a lot of time there. And then, like you said, at the that section before the whoops, but dude, even like the corner after the whoops, he was really good. Like he it's like he had maximum traction.
Yep.
I think that his body, like, and his build, he's a bigger guy. So I think that helps him on hard, slick tracks, you know, kind of like when you go into a go-kart track and, you know, the heavier cart sometimes might not be as fast from 0 to 60, but you create a lot more grip.
Mm.
And dude, like he was just perfect. I don't know that I saw in the broadcast. I mean, you might have seen something that I didn't, RV, but I don't know that I saw Malcolm really make a mistake.
No, honestly, no. Not that the broadcast showed. Obviously, the camera didn't stick on Malcolm the entire 20 minutes, but pretty much from what I saw, no mistakes. And to your point of like him just looking like he was glued to the ground and just so fluent was the turn after mechanics area, down the start straight into
Oh
that right.
yeah, the right-hander.
Yep, Chase was going one line inside of Mookie, and Mook was just going out just the next rut out, and it was this really, really good rut. He would just drop into it. And James made a point too on the broadcast where, you know, he had said earlier in the day, like, hey, this track, he was talking to Mookie, and he
Yeah.
was, hey, this track I think is going to suit you. And if you actually watch, Mookie stands or sits down typically more than the rest of the field, and it's exactly what it showed. Like through mechanics area, obviously you're sitting down coming out of the turn, but going into that right-hander after mechanics area, typically the guys stand up. Mook was just staying seated the whole way in there. Different riding style than kind of what we've seen in the past of the last 3 to 4 years of these guys standing up all the way late into the turns and maybe not even sitting down at all in some of these turns. He was on rails, man. Congrats to Malcolm. It's been a long road. 32 years old, to get his first win, relatively a hometown race. It was really good to see, you know, like for anybody, for the kids that are listening to this show, that sucker's been at it and fighting tooth and nail for many years. And he never gave up. As we're watching him celebrate right now for that first 450 win of his career, it'll go down in the history books. Not many guys get to ever win a 450 main event, let alone a championship.
Hi, folks. Lee Diffie from NBC Sports here. If you truly enjoyed what you just watched, you can get more news, interviews, and highlights by subscribing to the Motorsports on NBC YouTube page. You can get it all, so go for it.